Right, we're on. You can't shut them up, truly, we've tried.
I understand. Hey, welcome to Business Focus. I am your host, Roger Roser, aka the corporate rock star, and unless you've been living in a cave for the last 30 years, I'm actually sitting next to a legendary, oh my gosh, there's somebody else, it's the other Roger.
Let me straighten the toupee. There we go. And the tag's hanging out.
It looks fantastic.
The false teeth in? The false teeth straight?
Teeth look good.
Okay, good.
But they do say that your butt looks fantastic. I had all kinds of people
It's a fake butt.
sending in questions to ask the legendary Rick Springfield. Thank you so much for joining us
Sure.
on Business Focus. I really appreciate it. People asking me all kinds of questions, but I kept getting the same one. How do you keep in such great shape? And the gals had more interesting questions than that. But you're on the road, you're doing all this stuff. How do you keep in such good shape? It's the coffee.
Playing definitely, coffee.
Sure.
Playing definitely keeps us in shape. It's a very energetic show, and I eat pretty well. We eat pretty well most of the time, and I don't know. It's just
Just natural, right?
Love doing what I do.
Right.
I think that's the most important thing.
And you do it so well. You do it better than most. You've been around for 20, 30 years. You're entering into a brand new decade, 2010. Welcome. How's it feel? You've been doing this for such a good long time. What's the secret? Or Victoria's secret, should I say?
It's Victoria. I
Right.
wish I knew. I've taken time off. There was a time in '85 when I retired for a few years, and then kind of got into acting through the '90s, and then came back into music towards the end of the '90s. So it's done this a bit, and now we're at a great place because I'm doing both of them. I'm doing starting to do some TV shows that I really like, and
Right.
we're starting to play, and we're playing a lot, and we have a cruise coming up, and so there's a lot going on. We have records out. I'm on studio now, so we're making putting out a lot of our own records and recording a lot, and the new one will be out on Universal, like Venus and Overdrive.
Oh, wonderful. And folks, if you haven't had a chance to listen to Venus and Overdrive, you put that out in 2008.
Yeah.
Great album, and one of the best. Although my favorite, I have a penchant. My favorite from you is Dow. I just absolutely love
great.
that album.
Wow.
Everybody has
It's always
inspiration.
a good sign to me when that's
Well,
someone's favorite
Oh,
album.
yeah, I love that. I love that album. Celebrate Youth.
Yeah.
One of the favorite songs that I would serenade women with if I was ever trying to pick them up was State of the Heart. Of course, that was an easy one. But Walk Like a Man, great song.
Oh, great.
But just really good stuff. And everybody has inspirations in their life. You were a big one for me. I was and am a huge Rick Springfield fan. What's it like to look around and you see people around you that have been inspired by you, and who are you inspired by?
I kind of grew up with the Beatles. I was a big fan of the whole British invasion.
Sure.
That's kind of where I started, really falling in love with rock and roll.
Sure.
Everybody. I hear bands today now that I love. Like I love Josh Homme and Queens of the Stone Age, and I've always been a big fan of Tool. There's a lot of. I love Mute Math. I love Muse. There's a lot of great.
Muse is great.
Yeah, there's a lot of great artists around. Just the radio is kind of sucking at the moment. Getting.
Well, that's because you're not on it quite enough, as much as you should be.
Well, it's sucking for everybody,
you're used to be, but,
unless you're like Lady Gaga or like you like disco music.
Right.
Which God bless her,
there's
she's
a
doing
time
great,
for sure.
but it's very limited right now, and rock and roll doesn't seem to have much of a place on the radio, which happened just before Jesse's Girl came out. It was all disco and ballads,
That's
you
true.
know, when they were saying rock and roll's dead, and it all turned around through the 80s and 90s, and now it's kind of gone back to the club thing. And eventually it'll come out again.
Well, when you put out things like Human Touch, when you put out things like Celebrate Youth, it had a real kind of dance vibe to it.
My music kind of changed. Obviously been affected by what's been going on,
Sure.
Locally with everybody. But at the heart of my stuff, it's very guitar based.
Sure.
And,
Oh, you rock, Rick. I think your stuff is fantastic. Love Somebody. When I was in a garage band, everybody wanted to do Love Somebody, and everybody wanted to do Love Is Alright, because those were some of the fun songs that we would get to do.
And they're great to
throughout
play
the night.
live too. I wrote them to just guitar, bass, and drums, and they still work live.
Right. You got a great crew around you. You've been with, I was talking to Roger, your
Big
advanced
jerks.
guy. Yeah, well, you guys have fun, you joke around. I see you guys, I had the pleasure of sneaking in on sound check today. You running this is just like, you're running a business. You just happen to be running the business of Rick
It's a
Springfield.
very fun business.
Yeah, what's that like? How do you keep
Great
such a good
employee.
crew together and keep them motivated?
I don't know.
Daily whippings and beatings?
Yeah, daily whippings
Right.
until morale improves.
Right.
I've always been a band guy. I've always been in bands, and it was an accident almost that I went solo. So my heart is with bands, and I've always treated the band I played with me. I've always treated us all like a band. It's a very you know, a lot of respect and friendship, and it was the same in the 80s. I had a great band then. We're all still in touch. We also you know, like each other, and this is an amazing band, and I'm very fortunate to have a lot of these guys, and they, you know, everyone could always do other things, but they like this, you know.
They can tell that you care about them, and in turn they care about you and give them 110%.
Plus I pay them a lot of money.
And you pay them a lot of money, which is not a bad thing. So here we are, entering a brand new decade. What's next? You said you got the new album coming out on Universal. Can you give us a hint? Can you give us a...
No, we actually haven't written it yet. I'm still in the middle of writing my autobiography. We just signed a deal
You're
with
kidding.
Simon & Schuster, and that's going to be out in October next year, so I got to have it finished by April. So I got to write that. I'm about 3/4 of the way through it, and I got to finish that probably around February, hopefully, and then we can start write the new album. Hopefully the album will be out by the end of the year too.
Wow, Rick Springfield, author, movie star, hard to hold, great movie. That was good stuff. Love Somebody came out of that though, if I'm not mistaken,
right.
so great song. What haven't you done? Skydiving?
Yeah, I haven't done skydiving, but the guy, I have a masseuse that comes to the house pretty regularly, and he is a skydiver, so I'm
You
definitely going to go.
vicariously through
And also white shark cage diving. I'm booking that next year with my eldest son. We're going to go white shark.
In Australia, which is where you're...
No, we're going to do it. There's a great white shark population off the coast of Mexico, Guadalupe Island, and so we're going to go there.
Nice. Well, I know that you've got a show to do, and Happy New Year to you.
Yeah,
it's
you
really
too.
a pleasure to be here. Leave us,
Have a great one.
leave our viewers with a little tad of advice of how to have more fun and how to rock a little bit harder in 2010 and beyond.
Oh wow! I don't know. Just really stay safe. I've been reading a lot of stuff on the internet, and a lot of people out there trying to hurt us. And you know, you got to stay positive and stay connected to your spiritual path and your country and your friends. And you know, we're going to be we thought this was a bad decade to pass on, but it's going to be tough coming up too, I think. But it's an amazing world, and we've got to. You know, you have to enjoy being here. You can't just be surviving. You have to be living a life that you love and enjoy. And it's a great time now to pick that. If you're not in it right now.
The Tao of Rick Springfield,
Yeah.
which is a great place to be. Thank you so much for being on Business Focus.
Sure.
It's genuinely an honor and a pleasure
Thanks
to be with you. For everybody that makes the show possible, I am the corporate rock star, Roger Roser. Over and out.
He is.